What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I read you those latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you informed on what's going on in the crypto space. And again, sorry for being late today. Another day has just been busy, and we also had some special guests here at the club. Like, as my thumbnail shows, I have the lovely Janet Gatewood that was here today. She is our CMO of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, and so it's just great having her here. I love her. I love her husband, Todd. He's on the road right now, heading to Vegas for our grand opening over there. So that is club number 5 happening now, opening up. So if you're in the Las Vegas area, definitely stop on by and check out the new club. But yeah, what's going on today in the crypto space? Looks like the White House digital asset report is about to go publicly, or is about to be publicly released tomorrow. So that's exciting. Bo Hines said the president's working group on digital assets has completed the 180-day report. It will be released publicly tomorrow, July 30th. America is now leading the way on digital asset policy. So we're definitely looking forward to what's actually going on in there, because the working group has been originally tasked with crafting federal stablecoin framework, but that objective has since been addressed through the passage of the Genius Act last week. So Trezor also noted that this final document may include national security proposals focused on illicit finance and sanctions evasion, as well as recommendations for expanding Federal Reserve banking access for crypto firms. But we're hoping the Bitcoin Treasury Reserve gets addressed in it. So that's going to be exciting news. So I can't wait for it to get released, and we can let you know all about it. But yeah, so I know that was the title of the show, but basically that's all I was going to announce to you about it. Nothing more, just again, a lot of stuff has been already addressed in the Genius Act. Now it's just like, let's get back on that Bitcoin Treasury. Let's see where that's going, because we know everybody's still buying up a lot of crypto. Yesterday I was showing you like all the different companies acquiring it. I didn't mention that Saylor took a halt on it, but what do you know? Look at today. Breaking: Michael Saylor's strategy just bought another 21,021 Bitcoin for $2.46 billion. Little emoji right there. So yeah, strategy now holds 628,791 Bitcoin. I honestly believe this is going to be a company that does get be the first company to actually hold 1 million Bitcoin, because there's going to be a lot of people fighting for that. We got Jack Mahler's 21 Capital Group, and they want to do that. We can get America to hold on to it. So who's going to get to that 1 million first? It might be MicroStrategy, but hey, if the U.S. can get some of the seized Bitcoin from this FBI seizure last week, maybe we can catch up in that race, because currently the U.S. holds 200,000-ish Bitcoin, so yeah, we need to catch up at least 3 times the strategy. But let's hear about how they're seeking claims on 2.4 million in Bitcoin seized from a ransomware group. So the U.S. is seeking the forfeiture of 20.2 Bitcoin seized by the Dallas FBI from the Chaos ransomware group, adding to the country's proposed strategic Bitcoin reserve. Yeah, that's right. So that's a part of our strategic reserve where we will not sell any more seized crypto from any of these groups. So, woo. So hopefully they get it. Now, the United States has filed a civil complaint seeking the forfeiture of $2.4 million in Bitcoin seized by the Dallas FBI, bolstering the proposed U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve. Now, the civil complaint filed in the Northern District of Texas on Thursday calls for the forfeiture of 20.2 Bitcoin, which was seized from an address allegedly associated with a member of the Chaos hacker group, which has been tied to ransomware attacks. That the Texas U.S. Attorney's Office said in a statement on Monday that Dallas's FBI executives the crypto seizure on April 15th this year, according to the complaint, alleging it was the proceeds of unlawful activity related to ransomware attacks. Now, if the seizure is successful, the Bitcoin could add to the U.S. Bitcoin Reserve, which U.S. President Donald Trump mandated on his March 6th executive order. Now, this would be created through tokens seized through criminal or civil asset forfeiture. And here is a tweet from the U.S. Attorney of Texas. United States files a civil complaint in the Northern District of Texas seeking for the forfeiture of the $1.7 million worth of crypto seized by the Dallas FBI. Now, there has been doubts raised about U.S. government's Bitcoin holdings. Now, I estimated that the U.S. government holds 198,012 Bitcoin. So, yeah, they definitely went down, because I was quoting 200,000 Bitcoin. So, yeah, the U.S. only holds this. So hopefully I do get this to add to it. But that was by Nainson and Arkham and the BitcoinTreasures.net. So that's where we get that data. And this was seized through various seizures over the years. However, a Freedom of Information request from an independent journalist recently called that into question. The journalist who posts on X under the handle Lola L33TZ said on July 16th that they had received a response from the Department of Justice regarding a Freedom of Information request made in March, which revealed the United States Marshals Service only held slightly more than 28,988 Bitcoin. However, in a subsequent post, Lola Leitz said that the figure shared doesn't take into account seizing agencies like the DEA or the FBI, meaning that there may be other custody offices than the USMS. Now, here is that tweet that she did post. So, all right, my guys, since we now all have our panties in a jumble over the US government selling their Bitcoin, I'd like to alert you to the fact that there is a difference between seized assets and forfeited assets. The USMS is mainly in charge of forfeited assets, meaning assets that have been made property of the government. Now, the list I received from the USMS is a list of all Bitcoin held by the USMS as requested by DB. Now, USMS can be in charge of seized assets, but these can also be held with seizing agencies like the DEA or the FBI, meaning that there may be other custody offices than the USMS. Now, to the geniuses that have linked Arkham's government wallet tracker, these do not seem to be BTC that have been made by the government's property, at least not exclusively, which means they can't sell them. So, for example, Arkham lists 94,000 Bitcoin from Bitfinex hack, but forfeiture in the Bitfinex case hasn't been decided, at least last time I checked. Now, ergo, this doesn't mean that the USG has sold any Bitcoin. It just means that whatever these US Treasury sites estimate is likely wrong, as they don't seem to differentiate between seized and forfeited coins. So blockchain analytics firm Arkham made the similar claims back in July 23rd, so not that long ago, actually 6 days, pointing out that the other departments of the U.S. government also seize and hold Bitcoin, including the FBI, the DOJ, the DEA, and the U.S. Attorney's offices. Now, Arkham said U.S. government hasn't sold Bitcoin, and so Arkham maintains its data and then shows that the U.S. governments hold at least 198,000 Bitcoin across multiple addresses held by different government arms, and none have moved the tokens for 4 months. Now, here is a post from Arkham. Did the U.S. government just sell 170,000 Bitcoin? No, this Freedom of Information request response from the U.S. Marshals Service cites them holding at least 28,988 Bitcoin, but other departments of the U.S. Department also sees holdings including. So it's like a Grok response, because I see that Grok logo on Twitter. It just really seems like this is an AI response right there. But Lola Leitz, however, argued that some of the Bitcoin trackers don't seem to differentiate between seized and forfeited coins, because in some cases, the statuses of these assets are either seized or forfeited, and it's still up in the air right now. Now, the geniuses that have linked Arkham's government wallet tracker, these do not seem to be BTC, but they have been also made by the government's property, at least not exclusively, which means they can't sell them, Lola Leitz said. Now, the U.S. states are following suit. At least 30 U.S. states have also introduced Bitcoin Strategic Reserve legislation, according to Bitcoin laws. However, only Arizona, Texas, and New Hampshire have passed related laws as of July 29th. That's been a while since I've heard of any passing of these laws with these crypto things lately. It's all been about the Genius Lab Crypto Week, so we'll probably get more news of these soon. But dozens have failed and been voted down, though, since then, and by lawmakers before making it past the first committee phase. So U.S. is still following suit, but that totally just went off topic. I'm like, okay, the U.S. is trying to seize 2.4 million, and then that went off to another topic of like which part of our government's actually holding on to the crypto. So out of all of it all, there should be around like close to 200,000 Bitcoin, and that's what from Arkham and other data analysis. But that last part about like the U.S. is still moving forward with crypto's adoption. Like, again, we're going to get some public more. So again, we're going to get more news tomorrow. Again, White House is going to release its public records on the data assets. So that's going to be a positive. We're going to see what's in there and then what we're going to move on next to. But yeah, we're probably going to get some more news again about more. State Bitcoin Reserve Treasuries, or State Treasury Bitcoin Reserves. Like, that's going to be happening probably a lot more again, because that's been out of the news lately. Unless it just becomes altcoin season and that starts booming like no other. So many things could happen in the crypto space, but I love being here. What else do we got for you in the news today? Looks like billionaire Ray Dalio urges investors to allocate 15% of portfolios to gold and Bitcoin. Now, I briefly mentioned this in a Twitter post in yesterday's video. Let's actually go through the whole article now. So the veteran asset manager advised investors to hedge against macroeconomic risks around rising government debts. So, veteran asset manager Ray Dalio has advised investors to allocate at least 15% of their portfolios to gold and Bitcoin amid increasing risks in bond and equity markets. Now, speaking on the Master Investor podcast, the Bridgewater Associate founder argued that macroeconomic risks concerning rising government debts in the US and elsewhere have not been priced into markets, which may eventually face a significant fall. Now, the U.S. government is spending 40% more than it takes in, and it can't really cut its spending. Dalio said that, adding that it's accumulated a debt that's 6 times the amount of money it takes in, and in interest payments that is $1 trillion per year, which is half of its budget deficit. Now, Dalio also went on to explain that the U.S. government can pay its debt only by issuing more debt and by the central bank and the Federal Reserve printing of money. Now, this has created a situation where markets may become increasingly spooked, with Dalio suggesting that a trigger for a big crash could be another significant round of quantitative easing, or the government just taking control of the Federal Reserve. Now, signals such as the events of the beginning to flash or flicker, according to Dalio, who also makes similar arguments in his recent published book, How Countries Go Broke. Now, gold and Bitcoin. Because such risks are not priced into markets, Dalio is advising his investors to allocate at least 15% of their portfolios to either gold or Bitcoin, whichever could serve as hedges against fiat currencies and cash equivalents such as bonds. Now, the investor suggested that he is strongly preferring gold over Bitcoin, adding that he doubts any central bank would take the cryptocurrency on a reserve currency, because everybody can understand and watch who is doing what transactions are on it, and so there's no privacy to it. But Dalio also argued that there are doubts over whether the code can be broken or whether Bitcoin's protocol could ever be changed to make it less effective as a store of value. Now, given those concerns, the veteran asset manager explained that gold outweighs Bitcoin in his portfolio, saying, I have gold and I have some Bitcoin, but not much. Now, such caution regarding Bitcoin is a common sentiment among more conventional investors and investments advisors, with AJ Bell's head of investment analysis, Laith Khalif, telling Decrypt that investing in Bitcoin in the face of economic fears is akin to just jumping out of the frying pan and into a red-hot fiery pit. There's a lot of downers in these peoples, but while Khalif affirmed that investing in Bitcoin is fine if investors are allocating only a small portion of money they're prepared to lose, he argued that gold, which can also be volatile, is more solid anchor in the face of potential risk. But gold is much preferable diversifier to Bitcoin, as it tends to increase in price when risk aversion is high, and he said that it can be a useful insurance policy for a portfolio, but importantly held alongside shares and bonds to achieve a balance of risk and reward. On the other hand, some experts highlight that gold can carry more risk than often advertised, with cryptocurrency analysis and author Glenn Goodman telling Decrypt that certain periods of history were difficult for the metal. Now, there's no denying Bitcoin's price is volatile, but let's not forget anybody who bought gold during the inflation crisis of 1980 and held it for 20 years lost 85% of their money in real terms during that period, he says. Now, gold didn't start to recovering until the turn of the millennium, so take that into account. But I would personally be doing things in reverse of Ray Dalio, where I'd hold a majority of my assets in Bitcoin and a small portion in gold, because gold still is a solid asset out there, to hedge against inflation, but Bitcoin is digital gold. So it's just what gold was meant to be. So gold, and also Bitcoin's more scarce. I always keep saying that probably in every video, just because that is one of Bitcoin's value, because there's only 21 million 19 million of it's just already in circulation, and there's only 2 million left to be mined, and that won't be mined for the next 100 years. Honestly, I think they say that it's the year 2140 is when the final Bitcoin should be mined. So yeah, it's getting scarcer and scarcer, and we got guys like Michael Saylor buying $2.4 billion of it, just acquiring more, and then now the states trying to get more of it as well. So yeah, so we got billionaire saying, he was first a naysayer of Bitcoin and all that, but now he's got some in his portfolio. So the switch is coming. He'll probably eventually FOMO in and go, man, wish I had more Bitcoin versus the gold, but he'll probably accept it. He'll be okay with his decisions. But that's what we got for you so far. Let's take a quick commercial break, and I will be back with some more crypto news. So see you in a bit.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
That's right. If you guys need help getting some crypto or anything, you just don't need help learning about it, check out our club. You can go to bitcoinben.io and take a look at all of our programs and all of our different clubs we have where you can sign up and join and learn. But let's continue on with the news. What else is going on? I stumbled across this article, which is titled Golden Visas Are Shrinking for Crypto Investors. Now, it caught my eye because I've been reading the news for the past 4 years now doing this YouTube channel, and it's just like, has it been 4 years? Maybe 3 years. I'm already losing track, but no, it's like, I remember in the beginning times of it, it's like, this was kind of like the enticing thing about owning Bitcoin. Some countries out there will allow you to basically buy your visa, like your residency to that country with Bitcoin and having a certain amount of it. So it's like, it looks like this opportunity is shrinking now. And I thought I'd just share this video with you, or share this article with you, because actually I want to learn about it too, because I haven't read it yet and I'm reading it with you guys. So here we go. So wealthy crypto investors are attracted to golden visa programs thanks to their residency and tax benefits. But their list of options is getting shorter. So governments globally are rethinking the so-called golden visa programs that allow wealthy investors, including crypto executives, to secure residency or citizenship. Now, the golden visa programs let applicants secure citizenship after investing a sum, often in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, in a local investment fund or real estate. While this can stimulate local economic development and attract talent from around the globe, some jurisdictions are rethinking the strategy. Now in May, Malta's Golden Passport program was ruled illegal by an EU court, and the EU Commission said that Malta's Exceptional Investor Naturalization (MEIN) program was commercializing European citizenship. Now, Cyprus and Bulgaria ended their golden visa programs in 2021 and 2022, respectively. Now, global citizenship is in the form of multiple passports that may be attractive for crypto investors, especially as different countries implement more friendly tax and regulatory regimes for crypto. But getting that second or even third passport is becoming more difficult. Now, the golden visa programs get stricter as crypto investors seek citizenship. So the golden visa regimes have often been touted as a solid way for countries to boost economic development. Alessandro Palumbo, co-founder and CEO of BitCitizenship, An advisory firm working with Portugal's Golden Visa program told Cointelegraph that it's mutually beneficial exchange. Countries gain investments and growth, while investors secure residency rights, enhance mobility, and in some cases, a path to citizenship. Now, when U.S. President Donald Trump unveiled his plan for a Trump Golden Card, granting green card privileges, plus he said that the program would bring wealthy people to the U.S., who would be spending a lot of money, paying a lot of taxes, employing a lot of people. This can be particularly true for smaller countries with limited opportunities for economic development. Now, when did Trump say that? I do not recall or even seeing an article covering that before, but maybe that wasn't crypto related. But again, this can be particularly true for smaller countries with limited opportunities for economic development. But critics and observers have flagged the potential for these programs to be abused. In the aforementioned case of Bulgaria, members of a European parliament raised concerns that the program created an incentive for corruption and money laundering. According to Al Jazeera, the program's main beneficiaries were from China, Russia, and the Middle East. And the sudden entrance of rich investors and high earners can also lead to economic problems for residents. Now, on April 3rd, Spain canceled its golden visa over concerns about skyrocketing housing costs locals couldn't afford. And the path to citizenship through Spain's golden visa program was an investment in the real estate market. And lawmakers believe that the program was contributing to the crisis. Now, the golden visa program in Portugal, which has been long touted as the premier crypto hub of Europe, is also getting stricter. Palumbo said that Portugal is moving toward a more restrictive policies, including tightening its residency and citizenship eligibility. So whether it comes from security and money laundering concerns, particularly after the beginning of the Russia-Ukraine war, or due to the economic problems of suddenly injecting a large amount of wealthy investors into the community, gold visa options are winding down right now. Now, why did golden visa programs appeal to crypto investors? Well, for me, it was because during 2020 and that time span, that's when I was getting into crypto. We all know what took place during that time zone. It's unspeakable, or otherwise YouTube's going to ban us. I don't think they would anymore. But no, it's we were kind of stuck to where we were. But if you had a second passport, you were legally allowed to go to that country. It's I'm a citizenship. So it was kind of enticing to me. And by being in crypto, that gave me the opportunity to be able to have that opportunity. I was oh, why not? So that was my reason for why I kind of liked it. And when I saw this, when I just first even heard about this back in the day. But let's hear this article for why other crypto investors are kind of into it too. So golden visa programs can be particularly enticing for wealthy globe-trotting crypto investors as they provide the benefits of residence and often citizenship of a country while also imposing next to no residency requirements. So in some cases, applicants are required to spend as little as 5 days per year in a country while still receiving the benefits of a citizenship. Furthermore, some golden visa programs have integrated crypto directly into their investment schemes. So in Portugal, the Bitcoin Eco Golden Visa let investors get exposure to Bitcoin and local companies through an investment fund while getting the benefits of the Portuguese Golden Visa scheme. Now, El Salvador, the first country to recognize Bitcoin as legal tender, also passed a law in 2023 granting citizenship to anyone who invests $1 million in Bitcoin or Tether USDT. In Italy, Bit Citizenship is launching a golden visa route that would allow investors to get a route to Italian residency by investing 250,000 euros in a local Bitcoin startup. Now, there is clearly an appetite for crypto-related visa programs, particularly in countries with existing crypto-friendly regimes. Now, hype about a possible new crypto-related golden visa program led to a publicity nightmare earlier this month, when the TON Foundation made a premature announcement of a golden visa regime, and it's reportedly developing for the UAE. So, Now, the TON Foundation, and also, am I saying that correct? Is it ton or ton? There's a ton of weight over here, or I'm carrying a ton of weight. Or is it ton, almost like that movie Tron, but without the R? Ton. So, if anybody knows about this, let me know. So let's continue on. So I won't call it TON because that's how I read it, but the TON Foundation, the organization behind the network, started by an encrypted messenger Telegram, announced in early July that investors could secure a 10-year golden visa with a one-time $35,000 processing fee, in addition to staking $100,000 on the open network blockchain for 3 years. Now, the UAE Federal Authority for Identity, Citizenship, Customs, and Port Security, the Securities and Commodities Authority, and the Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority issued a joint statement denying this announcement. Now, TON later clarified that the announcement was premature and that it was working independently with a licensed partner to develop the scheme, with a final approval ultimately resting with the UAE regulator. So that was shut down. But options for investments may be expanding with an existing golden visa regime, like the Bitcoin Eco Golden Visa in Portugal or the crypto startup option in Italy. However, overall, the trend is moving toward fewer and stricter regulations around such visa schemes. Now, since 2020, at least 9 countries have scrapped their golden visa programs: the UK, Ireland, the Netherlands, Spain, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Montenegro, Moldova, and Malta. Now, Palumbo said that what's possible today may become legally impossible within months or weeks. So this pattern is accelerating, and golden visas, once abundant, are fast and becoming scarce. Just like Bitcoin's supply. But no, it looks like it is slowing down. So would have been a grand opportunity, like, again, 4 years ago when I first saw this and everything. And like, yeah, you had a second passport. You could have been to a crypto-friendly country. If anything were to happen like 2020 again, you're not just stuck to where you're at. You're like, you know what? I want to go over here and you can't stop me. So it looks like this is kind of shrinking, but it was a fun time to see. So there you go. Now, what else is going on? We got some chats over here. Any news on Mitch and Theta team deciding to rug pull their company and Andre Berry left June? Yeah, I haven't heard anything else from Andrea Berry, but there was something with Theta and a partnership. What was it? I think it was crypto.com. And so they're finally getting on exchange, which everybody's been wanting. So here, let's take a look at that. So we're on Theta Networks team. So for the first time, AWS has approved a decentralized platform to integrate its cutting-edge AI silicon edge cloud. It's now running AWS's proposal built. So this is more Theta Edge Cloud news. Let's see. Live Twitch. No, that's another show. I know there was something. Where was it? Calling blockchain developers. Nope, not that one. Here we go. So crypto.com, the custody welcomes Theta Networks, our institutional grade custody solution, unlocking secure asset management and institutional access to Theta Networks. So in partnership with crypto.com as a new strategic US custody provider, all 15 million Theta tokens have now been restaked and back to this enterprise validator node. More to come later. So was that the news you were looking about? So it wasn't a rug. If this was it, just you saw some unstaking happen, but now staked into crypto.com. So pretty cool. But that's really all the Theta news. I know Andrea Berry left, and I haven't seen any word on like anything else going on right now with her. She said she was going to say something about it, or she was going to mention it later, or she just can't say anything right now. So that news is still on hiatus. But yeah, so nothing much going on in Theta news. I'm just still sitting on I'm actually sitting on more T-Fuel than Theta right now, which is the gas for that token. So I'm holding on that one to staking it, which reminds me, I got to take some of those earned stakes and move it over to Bitcoin, because that's my main final bag goal. I want to earn so I can earn more Bitcoin, then use that for later on projects and stuff. But let's continue on with the news. What else do I got going on for you? Here's look like something to be wary of if you're a game player out there. But Steam game loaded with malware that targets crypto wallets and harvests personal information. So yes, and it's with this PC game Shemia. So it appears to have been removed from the Steam after a cybersecurity firm said the game was loaded with crypto-jacking malware. Now, again, first up, you shouldn't be at least holding on to all your crypto on a computer. You're still using it for everyday life. So playing video games, downloading stuff, shopping, it's like that's a big no-go. So if your crypto's on that computer, get it off to a separate crypto-only device, which you're just going to be using that computer or whatever just to hold your crypto. That's it. You're not going to be doing anything else with it. Trading, moving. If you want to do the trading, you move it over to this computer or another device. But yeah, but it looks like here's something just to be aware of. So if you're a gamer and you did download this game and you have crypto, you may want to pay attention to this. So a pre-release game that launched on leading PC storefront, Steam contained malware designed to target victims, cryptocurrency wallets, and personal data. According to a report from cybersecurity firm ProDaft, Chimia, a survival game developed by Aether Forge Studios, was loaded by cybercriminal group Encrypt Hub, aka Larva 208. Now, on July 22nd, with 3 types of malware, Hijack Loader, Fickle Stealer, and Vidar Stealer, ProDAF reported the former enables hackers to deploy privacy-breaching programs on an infected device. Now, the latter 2 pieces of the software aim to exploit digital asset wallets. So, in addition to accessing user data from web browsers, password managers, and other applications. And here is a tweet from it. Did you play Chamar on Steam? Then you should be worried. Larva 208's modification of the game to distribute Fickle Stealer, Hijack Loader, and Vidar demonstrates a concerning trend. And then you can check the GitHub and more information on that. Now, the tech outlet Bleeping Computer was the first to report on this and the alleged malware-infested game. Following the report, Steam appears to have removed Chimia from its platform, and a link to the game redirects visitors to the Steam homepage. Now, Steam did not immediately reply to Decrypt inquiry into the apparent removal of the game. Now, Chimia debuted via Steam Earlier Access, which allows users to download video games that are still under development and may have bugs or limitations in them. Now, the malware appeared to be linked to a Telegram channel where the cyber criminals could manage the software, steal data, and then launch attacks, according to ProDraft. Now, Steam security scare comes amid a global rise in cyber attacks. Malware infections have risen 87% over the past 10 years, according to data compiled by Statista. Global cyber economy researcher Cybersecurity Ventures forecasts cybercrimes will inflict $10.5 trillion in damages by the end of 2025. Now, that's up from $3 trillion in 2015. Now, Encrypt Hub launched a spear phishing and social engineering campaign with the same malware last year, compromising more than 600 organizations. So amid the global rise in exploits, Steam has fielded several cases of malware infiltrating games on its early access platform in March, and then malicious software was found in the game Sniper, Phantom's Resolution, a month earlier. Now, reports emerged that the title Pirate Fi appeared to contain a window-based malware designed to harvest sensitive information from unsuspecting downloaders' devices. Now, Steam did not immediately respond to Decrypt's request for comment on its process for vetting video games listed on its early access platform, so we just got no word on that. But yeah, so if you played this game, just be worried if you have crypto on your wallet. And again, a good just tip of advice, like have a separate device strictly just to hold onto your crypto. Have a wallet on there, whether you want a hardware wallet too to go to that specific computer. Again, like even if you think you have a Trezor or a Ledger, like if you're plugging that into a corrupted computer, that hardware wallet is useless. So I still recommend you have just a separate computer. We also offer here at the club Calyx Solutions, crypto only laptop. So that's also another option if you want to go that one. Just have a separate computer for your crypto wallets out there. That way you hold it. If you need to do a transaction, that's when you open it up. Send it to, say, your phone wallet, and then you can do whatever you need over here. Do some trades, move it around, but that computer and device is strictly just to hold your wallet, and that way you don't have to worry about this. So if you download this to your normal computer, nothing to worry about. Your crypto is safe on a totally another device. So just a little tip out there. And now let's move on to our final article of the evening. And yes, it's evening here in Florida. I'm going to go to the gym after this. It is back in biceps day. What are you guys working out? But in our final article, interesting one, but looks like there's a $17 million heist, or let me just read the title for you. $17 million in XRP allegedly stolen from a widow of a country music legend, George Jones. So Kirk West, a former lover of Nancy Jones, widow to George Jones, was arrested Friday in Nashville for the theft of XRP and cash. So a Tennessee man is facing years behind bars for allegedly stealing millions of dollars worth of XRP from the widow of a famed country music star. Now, Kirk West, a Nashville area resident, was arrested on Friday for the alleged theft of approximately $400,000 in cash and a Ledger wallet containing over 5.5 million XRP tokens. Ooh, so is XRP still at $3, or maybe even above that? But hey, if it's at $3, then that is what, 15 million? Yeah, it should be. But the alleged victim of the caper West Burn lover Nancy Jones, the fourth and final wife of George Jones, the late country music sensation. So how exactly did XRP, the red-hot cryptocurrency created by Ripple's founders, end up front and center in an alleged decade-spanning Southern saga of romance, music, deception, and crime? Well, according to the court filings first reported on by the local news station WKRN, Nancy Jones first encountered West, the purported XRP swindler, in the months after her husband, famed country star George Jones, passed away in 2013. Now, West claimed to be interested in buying Jones' home and soon after began offering the widow consolation and companionship. Now, here, is this him? Ooh. Now, per a restraining order, Jones would later file a restraint. I didn't even have the photo up of you. So, yeah, is this him? Is this the guy, Kirk West? But per a restraining order, Jones would later file against West, and the two became romantically involved weeks after Jones allowed West to become her roommate. Now, Jones claims she wholly funded West's lifestyle from on taking him on vacations and buying him luxury vehicles. Now, Jones would later assert that West was not wealthy or successful, as he had initially claimed to be, but was instead penniless. Now, in 2016, West pled guilty to 2 counts of criminal bank fraud and was placed under house arrest at Jones' home. Now, it was during this period that, per Jones said, West became a self-proclaimed crypto expert. The self-proclaimed crypto expert. That's where a lot of online scams usually happen. So if someone claims to be that online, don't fall for it. Now, and persuaded this self-proclaimed crypto expert persuaded the widow to buy up a large position in multiple cryptocurrencies, including XRP, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and Stellar XLM, another token created by one of Ripple's founders. Now, just weeks ago, West allegedly broke into 2 safes in Jones' home and stole, among other items, a Ledger wallet containing 5.5 million XRP tokens. And 2 days later, Jones booted West out of her house, and on Friday, local police arrested West on criminal theft charge. And at the Nashville International Airport, the Franklin Police Department confirmed this with Decrypt. Now, Jones and an attorney were reportedly able to recover most of the alleged stolen XRP, but have not been able to track down roughly 483,000 of the tokens. So, but hey, that's like they got 5 million back, so that's that's solid. So hey, they'll eventually find it probably, because again, blockchains are public knowledge. They can track it. They can eventually see where it goes, unless it hits tornado cash, and you're not finding that anymore. So the timing of this saga is apparent, or APT. In some ways, XRP has flown to all-time highs in recent weeks after years of flagging fortunes. Back in 2016, when West and Jones first invested in the cryptocurrency, it was worth roughly half of a cent. Earlier this month, the token exploded at $3.65, which is a new record. And the sum of XRP tokens allegedly held in Nancy Jones' safe and later stolen by West would have been worth $35,000 in 2016 at the time of writing. It's now worth $17.4 million. Yep, my math was right. Just add, give or take, $2 million. Yeah, that was because of that 0.5 thing. I didn't double that. But yeah, so that's what's going on. This man was arrested for stealing all the crypto. So don't steal crypto, guys. Don't be jerks. Just no one likes that. But that's it for the news today. Where's Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market? Let's see. Bitcoin's currently at $117,000, so we're just hovering there. Our fear and greed index is at 63, so we're still in greed territory. We're almost going back into neutral, so people will be hesitant. But here's our little 1 month chart of Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the day chart. So yeah, we were like at 118 earlier today. What about Ethereum? How's my Ethereum doing? No, we're still holding the 3,700. Not bad. Like, again, I like paying attention to Ethereum, because once Ethereum goes, that's when altcoin season booms, and I want to see my other bags filled up. Or actually, no, I got to fill up my bags before this boom happens, because I've still been just procrastinating on that since the dips happened. And again, XRP, $3.11. So kudos. But that's it for the news I have for you. Everybody, thank you for tuning in this evening. Again, sorry for being late tomorrow. I know I got no appointments, so as long as there's no walk-ins, I will be doing the crypto news show at 12 o'clock Eastern time. So I will see you then. So everybody, stay safe, take care, love you, peace.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.